talking about Ameyaw Debrah, he says Sarkodie, John Dumelo, and Stephen Ameyaw, for instance, launched various clothing lines that bore their names, but unfortunately the businesses are not operating today. Ameyaw Debrah said that the issue is not about whether Ghanaians support their own or not, stressing that rather businesses in this general line of work is market driven, right? Now he stated that the issue has got to do with sustainability and the concept around which the enterprise is founded. Citing Sarkodie, for instance, Ameyaw explained that at the time the rapper launched his sock merchandise, people were buying and it was going well. However, there was a lack somewhere, as perhaps the rapper's interest in the business waned as time passed, or whoever was producing the items was not willing to go on. He noted, however, Mzbel is doing well in other businesses, such as her Bella's Pub and her kids' playground. So yeah, Mr. Q, when it comes to, let me start with you, then I'll move to Na, because when it comes to artists in Ghana, venturing into businesses, right? And Sarkodie will definitely always be used as a case study. Always be used as a case study because of how famous his sock brand of clothing, belts, hats. What else was it? Were there shoes? There were shoes, right?
Yeah,
there were shoes, water. There was Holic water, and
that came after.
I feel like he had the right mindset. Just the execution was a bit some way, and also the pricing. That's my personal take on it. Because I remember during those times a couple of years ago, a lot of people were skeptical about the pricing.
Yeah.
The price, especially of the hats. One of them went for like 120 cedis at that time. Meanwhile, hats were hats that were on the market, name brand hats were going for like 45 Ghana cedis and things, and then he had his for like 120.
And it was supposed to be made in Ghana.
You get what I mean? So I mean, it wasn't like
patronized.
It was kind of sketchy, and also some of the merchandise as well, like the belts, was a bit problematic. Because the buckle, because you see, as much as we want to get into business, we have to make it practical as well. The belt, I mean, I saw lots of people feeling uncomfortable wearing it because, it has the sock signature, right, as a design. So it would pinch you when you wear the buckle, and it kind of, I mean, there were so many different problems with it. And also, if you're using the case study of sock, I personally feel like he didn't really fully establish himself here in Ghana, and then he tried to expand the store in Nigeria. And other places as well. So I mean, I'm sure he learned from that experience. He'll probably come back better and more refined later on, I'm sure, if he decides to venture into that. But I mean, Mr. Q, what is your take on businesses in Ghana by artists and why it does not work out?
Well, I think it's mainly got to do with interest. If that's your priority, if that's something you're interested in, you would see, and if it comes to you naturally, you see too, and you would probably have the mindset to look at the things that you need to push. But there are situations where maybe if you're a creative, say a musician, maybe creating music comes to you first and foremost than before business or something. I mean, if sometimes maybe if you could go into a partnership with someone who is vested in the business side and maybe use your brand, and it's you can come to that partnership with that combination, and the person is able to run the business for you, and you use your brand to push it. Maybe that will help push the business. But then I feel that if you and I don't think it's just maybe a creative thing. I just think that it's business everywhere. If you want to do business, you have to put your mind to it. You have to pay attention to the business. You have to check, like, be invested in it. Just like if you're an artist, you have to be invested in your craft.
Yeah.
So maybe doubling up, you have to travel, go and play shows, come back, and maybe that's and combining the two maybe might be too much of a task.
Yeah.
Especially for Sack like this. This was where his career was growing, and this was when he was actually becoming a household name. So,
but you see him, I feel like he had the most advantageous, standpoint when he was doing business because he went into the retail and clothing and that kind of business. He went into that aspect. Lots of people were interested in Sark. Lots of people patronized his products and all that. I feel like if you are in Ghana as an artist and you are that big, like Sarkodie was,
but at that time he wasn't as big as he is. I'm not comparing. On the way,
I'm not comparing, but the interest was still there.
But then,
the interest was still there.
Than now, honestly.
The interest was there. People would because when the caps came out, people would really buy. But what I'm saying is that if you're gonna put your clothing and all that out there to compete with already established brands that are being imported, and you are here and you represent the people here and they relate to you that way, I mean, considering them here should probably be should have been a top of his priorities.
So that's what I was going to say. This is two things I want to touch on. Like you guys have said almost everything. This is one major issue with not just, the celebrities, but people starting businesses.
In general,
Yes. Usually when we are starting a business, we think like us. You understand? I'm thinking like me when I'm, doing my business plan. I'm thinking like me. Oh yeah, this would be nice. Oh, this would be. We forget that you're not doing the product for yourself. That you're not the one going to wear it. That at the end of the day, there is a consumer who is going to consume this. So who you should be thinking about is that consumer. You understand? So
could it also be that you got bad advice?
It could be.
So
I think so.
Also, and you know what? And then there's that bit where we don't think about the consumer. We were thinking about, oh, this is nice, and people will buy just because you think you will buy. You understand? So I guess that's where the pricing might even, because 120 cities to him and his friends were probably nothing. But then he forgot that your friends are probably like 5, right? But then the majority of people who were going to buy, probably 120 cities was like a lot for them. Yes. And then secondly, I don't know about these celebrities and when they say they're going into businesses, especially clothing line. Is it really a clothing line or is it just merchandise?
No, but you understand?
It's just your merch with your name on it. It's the same hoodie we're seeing around with just your signature on it. Because look at Kanye. When you look at Rihanna, when they say they're going into a business, they are in there. They're creating fragrances here and there. They're creating different, lines. This line, my whatever, blueberry, blah blah blah. You get what I mean?
The same dedication,
exactly, and they're consistent.
Well. And the dedication is there.
I'm telling you, they're super consistent. With what they're doing. But you can't just do hoodie, because you like wearing hoodie and put your name on it, or you're wearing it and someone said it was nice, so you do it and you're selling it and you say I have a clothing line.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
But you see, it came with belt and shoes and things.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It
wasn't even functional. No, not functional. It wasn't even practical.
Practical. It wasn't.
You understand? Because at the end of the day, you are thinking about the signature on it. That was the most important thing to you, because a belt, the baby, is the same.
And you see,
but who didn't money?
Exactly.